Welcome to the Smite 2 Noob-Proof God Guide for Jing Wei, the Oathkeeper of Chinese mythology. I'll be going over her incredible mobility, her crossbow skills, and her dominance in the skies. I'll also cover her abilities and provide tips you'll be able to apply in your next match. Item builds and conquest specific strategies will be avoided as these tend to change quite frequently. Feel free to skip to any part of this video that fits your needs. Roll the intro.
Jing Wei.
Jing Wei is a sharpshooter and is most commonly played in the carry role. She deals physical damage, scales with strength, and uses ranged basic attacks to shred through her enemies. Using a mix of high mobility and augmented basic attacks, she thrives in corridor skirmishes. Her determination and resilience fuels her unbreakable oath. Jing Wei will spread her wings and soar around the battlefield in search for her next target. Passive, Rapid Reincarnation. Upon leaving the fountain, Jing Wei ascends into the sky, soaring fast over obstacles. She will land at the target location or descend when the duration expires. This passive can be cancelled before ascending. Jing Wei is fully crowd control immune during the build-up, ascent, flight, and descent. Ability number 1, Persistent Gust. Jing Wei creates a gust of wind at a target location that deals physical damage and knocks up herself and enemy gods. The gust stays on the field for 6 seconds, knocking up enemy gods and continually damaging any enemies who wander into it. The gust's outer ring provides a 6-second attack speed buff to Jing Wei. The attack speed buff is constantly refreshed while in the outer area of the gust. Ability number 2, Explosive Bolts. Upon activation, your next 3 basic attacks are wider, have increased damage scaling, and explode on the first enemy hit. You gained increased critical strike chance while this ability is active. This ability can gain up to 3 charges and goes on cooldown immediately on use. Ability number 3, Agility. Jing Wei dashes forward, gains an increased strength buff, and an additional charge of explosive bolts. This ability can be used while airborne, enabling you to dash further. This ability allows you to turn while dashing too. Ability number 4, the Ultimate, Airstrike. Jing Wei dashes forward and flies into the air, dropping explosives and dealing physical damage to enemies beneath you. Select a landing location or wait to dash backwards, dealing physical damage to enemies again before selecting a landing area. Jing Wei is fully crowd control immune during the build-up, ascent, flight, and descent. The following is based on years of personal experience. Every player has their own style and preferences, and that's alright. If you disagree with any of them, feel free to let us know. We try to keep an open mind and are always willing to learn to get better at the game that we love. Level up order. Jing Wei's first ability, Persistent Gust, deals good damage for clearing minion waves, increasing in damage, attack speed, and decreasing its cooldown. Her second ability, Explosive Bolt, increases the scaling, critical strike chance, and the amount of charges it has, extremely valuable in skirmishes. Her third ability, Agility, increases the strength buff with each point. If you prefer focusing on clearing the waves and farming, Persistent Gust is a great option. If you enjoy forcing fights and skirmishes, Explosive Bolts can grant additional charges. Whenever possible, put points into the ultimate. That said, here's our recommended level up order. Tips. Tip number 1. I'm returning to base. Jing Wei's passive allows her to quickly return to lane after recalling. Don't be shy to return to the fountain after a fight. Use this to minimize downtime and keep up the pressure on your opponents, or rotate to a fight somewhere else on the map. Tip number 2. Power Clear. Jing Wei's first ability, Persistent Gust, is a wonderful minion wave clear ability. Unfortunately, it doesn't really hit the entire wave. Launch the gust ahead of a moving wave. This will deal damage to each enemy that walks into it. Then proceed to hit the front row minions with basic attacks. In a situation where the wave is standing still, use the gust on the melee minions. This allows you to hit the archers in the back with explosive bolts while receiving the attack speed buff. This can help spread the damage and clear the way faster. Tip number 3. Objective clearing. Jing Wei's first ability, Persistent Gust, provides an attack speed buff when in range of the outer area. This is a great tool for clearing jungle camps and objectives like the Gold Fury or even towers. Tip number 4. Master of Bolts. Jing Wei's second ability, Explosive Bolt, is a great tool to fight an opponent head-on. This ability enables landing basic attacks fairly easily, giving you an edge. Keeping an eye on your charges is important. This will inform you when you should force a fight on your opponent and gain pressure in your lane. Remember that her agility ability provides an additional charge upon use. Tip number 5. Fight to your strengths. Jing Wei's second ability, Explosive Bolts, facilitates landing your basic attacks by making them much wider. While fighting in close combat, it allows you and your opponent to easily land basic attacks, especially those gods that benefit from items like Sunbeam Bow. By fighting at a distance, you enable an advantage for yourself by making it much harder for your opponents to hit you. Tip number 6. Knock Up Disruption. Jing Wei's Persistent Gust isn't just for damage, it's a fantastic tool for disrupting enemies in teamfights. For example, imagine the enemy team's assassin is diving onto you. Drop the Persistent Gust directly on yourself and knock them up, interrupt their abilities, and briefly disable them. This not only protects your team, but also gives you a chance to retaliate with explosive bolts or reposition with agility. In a crowded teamfight, placing Persistent Gust in a choke point can also control the flow of enemies, forcing them to avoid the area or suffer repeated knockups. Use it strategically to disrupt the enemy team's positioning and give your allies an advantage. Tip number 7. Spread your wings. Jing Wei's third ability, Agility, in combination with Persistent Gust or an enemy knockup, enables Jing Wei to fly above and around the battlefield. Retreating, repositioning yourself, dodging around corners, or even for an aggressive approach. Your target is hiding in the back or attempting to retreat? Not a problem. Set your gust down, activate your explosive bolts, and fly directly to your target. Don't hesitate to use it even when not airborne. This quick little dash grants a strength buff and enables you to curve. Sometimes it can be just enough to dodge a problem. Tip number 8. Safety first. Jing Wei's ultimate ability, Airstrike, is a versatile ability that can deal a significant amount of damage. It can also serve as a reliable escape tool. Use it to become crowd control immune and reposition when you're overwhelmed or outnumbered. It can be used to get yourself over walls or obstacles. Combine this with good ward placements, and you can safely retreat from the enemy's tower back to yours using quick maneuvers. Tip number 9. Countering Jing Wei. Every character has strengths and weaknesses, and Jing Wei is no exception. While cripples and disarms work well for the most part, her ultimate is always an option for her to retreat. Coordinated attacks when her ultimate is down is the best chance to take her down. Most players will tend to overextend as she is a character who naturally feels safe. Without proper awareness or ward placement, this can turn into a disaster for Jing Wei. We hope this video proved useful and that you'll be able to apply what you've learned in your next match. If you enjoyed the content or there's a guide you'd like to see next, let us know in the comments below. You can also join the Cabbage Corp Discord down in the description below, where we share Smite knowledge and cabbages. Thanks for watching and see you all on the battleground.